Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Custom 3D. Now, today is going to be the first video in a series of videos of 3D printing. Now, the topic of this first video is going to be picking a printer, which is obviously the most important step to get into 3D printing. I'm going to be telling you about one of the first 3D printers I purchased and why it is the perfect one to get when you're starting out. So thanks guys, stay tuned. Alrighty, so choosing a 3D printer. Now there is a wide range of 3D printers that you can go out and buy right now, ranging from $100 to honestly $1 million on the industrial side. Now, obviously, if you're watching this video, you're probably looking to get into something a little bit cheaper than $1 million, which brings you to the hobbyist and desktop market. Now, really, that starts out at $100 and climbs to about $10,000, and that's really where they cut off the hobbyist printer market. Now, the bottom of the range is this cheap, rinky-dinky little 3D printer that barely works, that can only print in PLA, that is on, a multitude of Chinese websites that really are kind of sketchy, but not a great starting point. So yeah, let's get that out of the way. And at the $10,000 point, you're looking at the Ultimaker S5 bundle, which is really extreme for a hobbyist. At that point, you're really getting into giant printing farms and having 5 or 6 of those going at a time, and that has the multi-material setup, and it has a large build area enclosed and a filtration unit on the top. Now, where do we get in the middle? Now, really the most popular price segment I think in 3D printing is $200 to $1,000. When you get to that, you have a lot of great printers to start out with. Now, the main printer I'm going to be talking about today are the Creality CR10 Minis. Not the regular CR10, but the CR10 Mini. And the biggest reason for that is price. Right now, you can pick up a Creality CR10 Mini on Amazon for $290. And you get a very good build size and great reliability. Alrighty, so here are some quick specs on the CR10 Mini. It has a 300 by 220 by 300 millimeter build area. The nozzle can heat up to 260 degrees Celsius, and the bed can heat up to 110 degrees Celsius. Now, before I start throwing all these technical terms at you, and if you're just getting into 3D printing, basically, when you have a 3D printer, and this particular type of technology is called FDM, or fused deposition modeling, you have restrictions in terms of how big you can build something. And the CR10 Mini at under $300 offers a very competitive build area. Now, you may be able to find printers that cost less, that have bigger build areas in the Sunlu S8. I probably will be buying one of those soon, but since I do not have one, I cannot give you an honest review on it. But the CR10 series has a much better history and lineage, and the printer has been around for years now, and a lot of people love them. Personally, I have 3, and I will be buying more. So they're great printers. Also, the great thing about the CR10 Mini is due to the fact that it can heat up to some high temperatures, is that it can print in PLA, PETG, and TPU with a slight modification. So, and for those of you who are unfamiliar with those 3 types of materials, PLA is really your basic standard 3D printing material. It's not the strongest, not the weakest. It's ridiculously easy to print with, and that's why most people print in it. You can get it in a multitude of colors. Now, PETG is sort of the evolution of PLA in terms of combining the strength of ABS, which is a very difficult material to print with, especially on these open-sourced, open-aired machines, and the ease of use of printing with PLA. So PETG is great for that. Actually, it's probably the main material I've been printing in now, even though that shelf underneath that table is filled with PLA. I have a lot of PETG as well. Now TPU, with a slight modification to the extruder assembly, you can actually print in a flexible material. Now this is a game changer because flexible materials really introduces a plethora of other prints that you can do that are really, really amazing. So those are just some specs on the CR10 Mini. So I hope you learned something today about purchasing your first 3D printer. Now, the next videos in this series will be about assembling your printer and the different parts that make it up. And after that one will be your slicer settings, setting up your slicer, and your first print. Now, I think this is going to be a great series, guys, and I hope you follow along if you're looking to get into 3D printing. I'll be posting those videos within a couple of weeks, hopefully, and we can get this series complete. So, with that said, if you're going to go buy a CR10 Mini, check it out on Amazon. But also, they do sell different variants of the CR10 on matterhackers.com. And there's a link for that in the description below for filament. And if you're not going to buy a printer from them and buying the CR10 Mini on Amazon, buy filament from them. Great company, great filament. I have a lot of spools of PLA from them, and they're an American business, and it's great to support American companies right now, especially after last year. So make sure to check out all my social media links in the description below, where I'll be posting a lot of great 3D printing stuff and sharing a lot of the great 3D printing memes I've been seeing recently from the Facebook groups I'm a part of. So, yeah, so alrighty guys, thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.